We back. Gang. Divine message from my brother, my sister, the chosen one, the priestess, the enlightened one. Yes, I'm talking to you. Peace, family. And BJ. Gang. Peace, peace. Peace and prosperity. Welcome on in, family. We about to do a whole shabuzi up in this thing. The light is shining, God is shining, the sun is shining, love is shining, and I'm being used. It's about to get fun. Gang, we in here for another one. For everybody who doesn't know, my name is Gademshi Golden Sun, and I'm a child of the Most High. I love to do what God is doing. God is having the most fun, and I'm telling y'all, the spirit that is within you, the Most High within you, you don't have to go to no fun house. You at home with the fun. God bless you all so much. Thank you all for tapping in and joining me at this time. If you don't know me, my name is Gademshi. Like I said, I'm a child of the Most High, and I just really love doing what God is doing. As we are walking on this earth right now, we are in a pivotal time for humanity as a total. And I honestly don't talk about humanity and the development of the human condition as much as I can. I find myself just trying to help when I'm healed. You feel me? What's up, Sister Trini? What's up, sister? How you feeling? How's your day going today? So yeah, I would love to hear from you, sister. What was I gonna say, family? I really just like doing what God is doing. That's what I was getting to. And I don't talk too much about the human condition as far as maybe our family members, maybe people that didn't continue to grow or we started growing. But I often pray for everybody. I really do. Because I don't take this whole thing lightly, you know? Like, oh, you guys didn't get it. Oh, you guys are not waking up. Oh, okay. No, I don't take it like that. I take it like people need an example. That's why they are running to religion. People need an example. That's why they're not having balance in their relationships, or they're not honorable, integral human beings, because they haven't seen somebody doing honor and integrity and making it cool. Like, it's cool to be a good person. What's up, Cream? Peace, peace. Like, it's cool to be a good person. It's cool to be honorable. It's cool to have integrity. It's cool to do right by others and nobody watching. It's cool to do the right thing and nobody needing to know. It's cool. And I think when people like my family members and some of the people I've met online, when we start to recognize the deeper parts of ourself, our higher self, our nature, our being, the inner divinity, when we become more aware of our condition. But until then, it's like we don't even become aware of our condition, and we are demonstrating our lack of intelligence or our lack of awareness. And it takes, you know, conflict in order to wake up and see, oh, hold on, I can't just be treating people like this. And so this whole conversation today, family, is going to be all about recognizing the inner divinity, all about recognizing your inner being. Because the infinite spirit of God is where you are, always simultaneously happening with you right now. This thing that you call life is the breath of God that you're breathing. They call it air, and it dumbs down the reality to a finite level of putting things into boxes and categorizing things. But this that we're breathing right now, this oxygen that we're sharing, is beyond oxygen. But my business in this conversation today is not to give you a science lesson about all the different gases that are, you know, kept up in the air. It's not about that. It's really about recognizing that there's a creator. His name is Source. Her name is Source. However you like to name Source, because Source didn't give itself a name. We gave God a name. And so I choose to call Source God because that's what I've chosen for myself. And I also chosen to call Source Father because Father is the orientation of my consciousness in the I am. And so I'm always having a conversation with Father because he's the one telling me all the good stuff. Always speaking about Mother as well, because why? Because I'm walking on her every day. I'm taking a seat on her right now. We're gonna go to the supermarket later. We're gonna take our shoes off and do some grounding. We have mother and father. Same way we got biological parents, as above, so below. Source is known as father because of religion, but there's mother, father, God. It's a totality of God. It's not a masculine aspect. It's a totality. Bio-feminine, bio-masculine, energy of masculine, energy of feminine. And we embody both. And so as you become more aware, just becoming aware, you may see that you may have some qualities of masculinity or some qualities of femininity that don't just fall in the balance for everybody. It's almost like you figure out what qualities of masculine and feminine you have, and you abide basically based on how you are. You feel me? I love that, Sarah. Bring in that hot sauce right there. What's up, Queen Nala? Peace, peace. Namaste. Good to see you in here, Queen. I love what you said right here, Sarah, because it's child. And a lot of times people always masculinize everything because of how we've been conditioned. And I totally understand it, but we're not going to stand there. You know what I'm saying? We're going to walk from where we were into greater life. And so when I speak about the Trinity, I love to always make sure people know that the child of God is daughter and son in the quality of masculine and feminine, because when you see the polar homonyms and how the reality is kind of created with polar homonyms, you don't accept boxes as definitions for stuff because it doesn't make sense. God is 3 in 1. God is 3 as 1. And so, as yourself right now, child of God, masculine or feminine, you can be a woman, you could be a male, but when we term son of God, we're talking about this expression of love, this expression of light that's falling on my melanin right now. We're talking about this expression of giving that's continually flowing, the continual outpour. You don't need a gender for that. Now, we're not doing a whole bunch of genders and all these type of things these people are pushing out here in the world. We're not doing that. We're not doing that either. I am a man. However, I am a son because I express the qualities of divinity, love, light, wisdom, prosperity, intelligence. You feel me? And a woman can do that too. So we have to see the garment of gender needs to be taken off to receive Christ, because in Christ there's no gender. Now, of course, we recognize women because we take care of women. We recognize children because we take care of children. But we don't discriminate because of these things. I hope y'all are hearing this message really clear. Oh, y'all love my hair? I appreciate y'all on YouTube. Y'all love my hair? Yeah, I love it too. Yeah. I'm just catching up on the comments. Y'all, appreciate y'all. Oh, y'all really cool up in here on YouTube. I love y'all. Okay. Gone, gang. Super gone. Holy. Holy. Got that holy head, boy. That's so incredible. Thank y'all for bringing in such good energy. What y'all saying on TikTok? Okay. Well, Mari, I can share with you some prayer, and I can also share with you some practical things that you can do. I wish I could send some resources your way, but I'm not in the best financial position to do that right now. So you're saying you're at the risk of being homeless and being pushed out to move. How can I handle a situation like this? Well, first, I would like you to check out where you can go if you're not sure about that at this time, and also what you can be doing with your hours during the day so that you can start to provide your stability on your own. And then we'll see if you've taken advantage of any of the state that you live in, any of the things that they do to support with housing and financial issues and things of that nature. We can definitely share some prayer for you as well, and some practicality, and some prayer does a lot of things. Gang, gang. Well, so Michael, prosperity is a principle. It's not necessarily a human concept. So I'm answering Michael's question about if God is creating everything, why do we need prosperity? Because prosperity is a nature of God. It's not really because of humans and their wish to hold money and stocks and gold and silver and have a large portfolio. That's different from prosperity. I mean, that's an aspect of prosperity when it comes into the human realm, but prosperity in divinity is God's opulence and omnipresence of abundance, of availability, of substance. And so when we interpret that, substance shows up as a lot of things: having good amounts of money coming in and good income, having resources that are valuable not only to you but also to your community. So that includes intelligence, or what's that word, Father? Seeing that word, what's that? What's that word, Lord? I said intelligence, but it's intellectual property. That's the word I was looking for. So that also fits into the realm of prosperity, just so you know. I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, but the thing about it too is like people lock themselves up because it's like they want to do what they feel in their heart and soul matches what God said based on the scripture. But you also want to be gentle enough to see that God is still saying. So you want to be tuned in enough to recognize how people are portraying life, because they say, oh, the rich people are doing this. And it's like, hold on, wait, that's not what's happening. That's what you're saying. And so there's rich people that are honoring God with their whole life. There are rich people out there who are just taking care of people on the street and creating orphanages and taking people's children that were dumped on the side of the road and making them their own children. It's happening out there. I know one of my mentors is doing exactly that. So it's challenging for the human consciousness because we only interpret things based on how it was shown to us. So when we think about prosperity, and some people guilt us to think that you shouldn't want to have money or you shouldn't want to be abundant because you serve God, right? Okay, so you're supposed to be on the side of the road. No. How am I going to serve God if everybody else is on the side of the road? God, I need a car because these people on the side of the road need a ride. We're continually receiving so that we can be the channel. So I'm not going to add too much on that, but appreciate y'all so much. Yeah, everybody needs a skill set, Void. That's powerful. Yeah, I have a lot of skill sets myself. This is just something that I do for fun, honestly. Coming on here and sharing these wisdoms with you all, and also cultivating a community where we can increase our awareness and our ability to have difficult conversations amongst the entire population of humanity, regardless of race, regardless of creed or religion or anything. Yeah, some of the things I like to do, or some of my initial skills that I started off with: iPhone repair, MacBook repair, batteries, LCDs, cameras, all this type of stuff. iPhone 15 Pro Max all the way down to iPhone 4S. That's what I started on. So yes, definitely have a skill set. Oh, that was for our good sister over here. Definitely. Yeah, so that means if you also have anything that you find comes naturally to you, you definitely want to be more so pouring into that, pour your time and energy into that. Let's see what we're saying up in here. Yeah, honestly, I would say that in the realm. Hi.
Did you reserve this room?
Yes, I reserved this room till 7:30.
7:30?
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, for this question here on the college question, I would say, for the qualifications that the Matrix wants, that's what it's for. But if you want to change the industry, you don't need to go to college to change the industry, bro. To change the industry, you got to know how you're doing what you're doing well, more than anybody else. And you got to do it well enough that it catches people's attention as you also move into the space of marketing and how to properly form a message around what you're doing. Disruption is the easiest way, bro. You don't need school for that. You just got to see how it's going and how you can make it go, and know the balance and make the balance. Yeah. So let me, so thank you guys for y'all questions. That was really fun. I haven't tapped into this channel for a while and given y'all some practical things about moving in the matrix. We've really been talking about how to maintain in the matrix, making sure we don't lose our consciousness, dealing with all these lies and all these type of propagandas, making sure that we're attuned with our joy, attuned with our peace, attuned with our clarity. We're operating in our consciousness of Christ, and we're treating ourselves the way we would want to be treated, and we're also treating other people the same way. Because some people beat themselves up all day long, and then they come up in other people's Instagram or other people's YouTube, and then they start talking about that person because that's all they're doing to themselves all day. So when you come in here, you're going to get the unconditional love of God, regardless of what you're giving me. I know what I'm giving you because I know how this works. I'm not thinking about it. I am what people are thinking about. I really struggle treating myself well. Queen Nala. I would love to go into that because I think we have some cleaning up to do and we could do it together and it could be fun. What do you think? So I would love to know, what do you struggle with when it comes to treating yourself well? Because this is so important. This whole message is all about how God is a living being within our own life and expression. And so if you're not treating you well, what do you think the Most High is feeling about that? If you're not treating you well, how do you feel like God feels like about that? Because that's God you're not treating well. That's you that you're not treating well. Let's talk about it. Thank y'all so much for the comments and the contributions. And then we're going to get into today's message. But I want to answer as many questions as I can. Also, if you are a person who deals with anxiety, depression, confusion, or worry, then you definitely want to tap in with today's meditation. It's on live on YouTube right now. After this, you can go on YouTube and go to LIGHTPOWR, and then you'll see Wednesday meditation, and you should sit into it. Anxiety is nothing but an opportunity to come home to yourself and to really be present with what you're anxious about and handing that over to the infinite spirit of the Most High God. All you do is breathe, and God takes care of it. But if you run away from anxiety, if you stuff it under the chair, if you push it away under the table, then it basically compounds. And that's when people start having issues with it. No, it's okay. You can be dishonest. No, we do honesty over here. We always honesty over here. I hope whatever you shared wasn't blocked out, because I didn't see exactly what your message was, but this is a safe space. However, if you don't want me to talk about something, it's probably best you don't say it in here. Totally cool. But I am very open-minded person, and I'm very also disciplined and principled, right? So even though a lot of people in the world, maybe people I have consultations with, or people that I just meet as I'm traveling, they think different than me. I don't have anybody that thinks like me, but I don't want anybody that thinks like me. That's a copycat. I don't want a copycat. I like people the way they like themselves. That's honorable to others, and that's in alignment with what they stand for. And so keep it totally honest over here. But let me share a personal example about treating myself well, maybe, and then I would love to read your comment once it comes in. I can't ever say that I've always practiced what I teach right now, because before I learned what I'm teaching, I didn't know it. My parents didn't know it. The people I went to school with didn't really know it. How to balance your mind, heart, and consciousness to embody the God presence. I wasn't always being taught that, or it wasn't always spoken of. It was something that I glimpsed, and once I saw it, I was like, I'm that. That's who I am. That's why I haven't seen me the whole time, because nobody's standing there God glory and recognizing that they are the living spirit of God and allowing other people to know that. And that's why I felt like I was in the darkness the whole time. And it's because I was. It's because I am the light. And that may be your experience as well, my brother, my sister. You may not find a lot of people who resonate with you, or resonate with how you think, or what you choose to follow or express. But it's not for them to know. It's not for them to validate. It's not for them to approve anyways. It's for you to learn self-validation. The only person that knows what I'm doing right now is God. And I don't care about anything that I'm going to say, because the only reason why I'm going to say it is because He's inspiring me to say it. It's only because Mother, Father, God is inspiring me. So without that, I'm not saying anything. Probably shouldn't be this honest, but oh well, I don't sleep. The first thing I heard was, what is it in your life that you're hoping will go away on its own? What is that? What is that about? Do you have something in your life that you wish would just go away on its own? Yeah, I apologize. I had a feeling that that was what was happening too, because God told me. I heard that. Um, so my comment section has filters. I'm about to turn them off for a second because I, I, I have to redo them. I'm not sure what words you may be using, but I just turned off the filters. So hopefully this time, allow comments. I just turned off the filter, so allow this time. Hopefully it comes through. I think we should be able to get through. Can you try one more time? Queen Nala, I would love to get into what you're sharing. Yes, me. I deal with it. You deal with anxiety, Michael? I deal with it too, bro. It doesn't stay long though. Anxiety just shows up at the door. And then I come to the door and I talk to anxiety. I'm like, do you know whose house this is? This house of God. We don't worry over here. You looking for somebody down the street there? We do love over here. We do peace over here. I'm balanced over here. You're at the wrong door, excuse me. So I talk to anxiety, tell them to get out of here. Okay. I feel that, Queen Nala, where I'm getting from what you said here, you feel like everything else in your life is more important than you in your life. I want to invite you to look at, does this have any type of pattern with how you were raised and how you were brought up a little bit? Did you have to also do that while you were brought up in childhood? I feel like I was exactly just like what you're saying. For me, I felt like I parented my parents because I could tell what was wrong. And I knew that if I could tell what was wrong, then I'm not going to tell and not know how to tell other people that it's wrong. Because I'm just going to know by myself and it's going to stay the same. So I'll always be in correction. It's like, oh, well, let me make myself like this so somebody would be happier because I see that they're sad. So because they're sad, I'm going to do all of this so that they're happy. And that's just how I was raised. It seemed like I was taking care of my parents and my siblings, my partners, everybody, because I could already tell what was wrong with them. And most times I'm not absent of the solution. So I would just feel like, well, I can't watch you suffer. That's hurting. You know? I can't watch you just bump your head against the wall. That's disruptive in my whole energy. I can't sit here and you complaining. I can't do that. I got a solution. I can't just sit here listening to complaints. So I totally resonate with that. I will always be on the lookout, how making sure everybody else is good. And the beauty is recognizing that, well, for us who are aligned with God in this unique way, we came to serve in a way. However, we didn't come here to serve at the expense of ourselves. We didn't come here to serve at the expense of being taken care of. We didn't come here to serve at the expense of being treated like a decent human being who has not only just rights, but also has a divinity and a divine reflection of the Most High. And so the beauty of recognizing how to serve yourself and to keep the cup full is such a key that we have to grow into. And I had to grow into it. I don't know where you are with it, but I had to grow into it, and it felt selfish. It felt like I'm showing people that I don't care. But hopefully what I'm about to share about this particular thing would elevate somebody's heart and just kind of let you take the pressure off. To get to this place in the spirituality, to speak, to teach, to edify, to help people feel better about their own lives, to look into their own story, to deal with their shadows, to redefine themselves, to create a new self-image, transform their self-image and all of these type of things, you have to go to hell, pretty much. I mean, summary. You got to go through the fire. I mean, the fire is not just it's not for cooking, The fire is not like, oh, I touched the stove, I was making noodles. No, that's not the type of fire. This is a type of fire that consumes every part of your life. I mean, your mindset, your heart, your personality, and you got to go through the shadow, the valley of the shadow of death, And so to keep your cup full is the baseline. I can't even have a conversation with you And I don't care how much I love God. I love God so much that I'm going to have a full cup. It's not about nobody until my cup is full anyways. Because it's only when my cup is full that I can come on here and do what I'm doing. So if somebody called me and said, oh, well, I need help because of this and this and this, I'm like, okay, I can help you just after I send this message. I can help you just after I do what I'm here to do on the earth. Because this is what I got to do. So it's like, I want to investigate, how much do you deserve to rest, Queen Nala? Or do you feel like your value comes from what you're doing all the time? Be honest with me. Because I'll be honest with you. I thought my value came from what I could do. And it does come from what I can do. I can do some amazing shit. I make music. I'm a producer. I make websites. I build e-commerce websites. I mean, I can do some amazing shit. At least for people. Nah, I didn't start doing no magic tricks yet, but I'm still pretty good. But my value doesn't come from what I do or what I did. My value comes from who I am. And this is why this conversation came today. Because God is your core of life and being. And so when we stop trying to do, we stop trying altogether. Either you do or you don't. And this is where this phrase comes in. I think it was Shakespeare. I'm about to get to your comment right here, Michael. I think it was Shakespeare who said it. To be or not to be? Was that Shakespeare? I don't know. But this question is literally what we're asking ourselves all day long. You want to start a new podcast. You want to start a channel, a platform. You want to describe your experiences to people and bring value to them. Are you going to be a podcaster? Or are you going to think about doing a podcast? To be or not to be? You know that what I'm sharing with you is not about what you're doing. It's all about if you're valuable from doing nothing, which you are. You don't need nobody to tell you that. You just need to remember that. So I'll tell you just so you remember, but you don't need to hear that from nobody. What you need to recognize is the very life of you is optimum value, and it only increases every day you wake up. It only increases as you breathe. It only increases. Now, people say that we're dying, so, we're running out of time and all this, but you bring value to time because you are the expression of God's being. So we're going to have a conversation right now. It's going to split up the doers and the beers. Those who do so much just so that they can see what they've done and be seen because of it. They want to do so much so that they can be seen for what they've done and they be recognized for that. We were used to doing that. I used to do that. I mean, I still do it to this day. People learn about me because of my works. So it's still happening. But I don't value my works higher than my core. Because, oh shit, what the fuck? This boy just ran into the window and his mama came and grabbed him. This is a glass window. Some wild stuff happening. What's up, Messiah Visions? That shit spooked me out. I'm like, I know I booked this room. So, like, I'm not expecting nobody. So, what are you doing? Peace, peace. Thank you for tapping in at this time. Let me read this comment right here before we continue into this conversation about being over doing. Because when you value yourself in a state of being, your doing happens by itself. You become more authentic because you allow for the spirit to be. So the summary, if you're taking notes, you want to write this at the top of your paper. Let God be. That's the summary of this teaching. Or you could say, let God be God as me. Or you could say, let God be God through me. It's not about what I do. It's about how I allow the doing. So hear this. I'm about to read Michael's caption right here. Michael said, if God says the servant isn't greater than his master and the matrix is a constant servant system, then it would mean that we are meant to be humble members of a society, even though we are not on top. That's a really interesting perspective. I never heard it like that before. Because the wisest among you, or The greatest among you, as is written in scripture, shall be thy servant. And this is Christ exemplifying the lamb, or the one who is harmless to others, but brings so much value to them. A lamb is led by a shepherd. It eats grass, it grazes and all of this, and then it develops this wool. And then the farmer comes and he shears all the wool off, and they use this wool and make a clothes or make a hat or make some socks. And that's what Christ did with his life. He allowed his life to be the hair, the hats, the socks that we're wearing right now, so we can see ourselves in Christ, the living Spirit of God. So that would suggest that the servant, as the Matrix, is serving us with packaging all the pistachios in a bag using these machines and all these type of things, and peeling off all the peanuts from the peanut shells and dry roasting them and putting them in a bottle and all this. We being served at a great degree, actually. So we can't even be mad at the system, really, because the system is serving us. I just think we're finding out that this service isn't all that it seems to be, one, and two, there's a lot of us going without because of the way it goes, or a lot of us going without because of how it is. And the us that I'm talking about may not be us on here on Instagram right now, but it could be the us that's somewhere in California on the side of the road, or somewhere in Michigan right now, homeless, or somewhere in, Haiti, another place in the world, or somewhere in China, or somewhere in Africa, that's going without resources. And I find it to be so because, let me say, there's philanthropists and all these type of people, but they just want to be known for donating a lot of money. I wouldn't wait for this day. I just want the day to be now, where people who have money and want to be known for doing good things, they just go out there and fucking do the good things. Go out there and figure out which place of land over there in whatever city they don't have housing. Go buy some land, build an apartment, and get these people off the street. And then talk about how you did that shit and let the news promote that shit. Then talk about how you're selling your book. Then talk about how you're doing whatever, But I like what you mentioned here, Michael, because the service that we find from the Matrix is still a service. So we have to recognize that serving is going to be how we balance everything, by making sure needs are met. That's what the Spirit of God is doing. So if we're going to be advocates of God, we're going to be doing just like God is doing, making sure needs are met for our brothers, for our sisters, for ourselves. Let's a question here from MBJ. I love y'all questions, by the way. How do you let God be God through me? Like, I feel that I need to do certain things. Could those things be God asking me to do? Absolutely, it could be. Now, I want to be very specific about what I'm going to say, because I used to have a hang up with this whole, you're not supposed to do anything, you're supposed to be, and then allow things to happen, and you're supposed to be, and then allow, and things happen and manifest, and all this type of stuff. And it kind of suggests that you're not supposed to do anything, and doing something is the wrong thing, or, why are you doing, you're supposed to be being. It's not all that. It's really just about coming home to your mental frame. So how do you let God be God through me? It's about recognizing those things that find themselves wanting to come out, that find themselves wanting to be created, that find themselves wanting to be expressed, and then letting those things be expressed. Because what ended up happening is we want to make sure of what is coming or what is wanting to be. So for an example, I may be having this discourse right now with about 10 people here on all platforms, and I may feel led to express something with a little bit of passion, and I'll say, women don't deserve to be fucking treated like that. Somebody will catch a qualm, a mental irritation, like, why is he using profanity? Well, I'm using profanity because what I'm saying and the energy of what I'm saying is only going to resonate if I let it all come out. But how we think as human beings is, oh, I don't want to use profanity because these people are going to think about me in a certain way, and they're going to judge me, and then I'm going to not be a highly representable person, and then it's going to make it seem that I don't have a reason to share anything because I don't have control over my mouth, and this and this and this and this and this and this. And it's like, it's not all of that. You editing yourself is you telling God, no, God, you can't show up like that. Now, I'm not an advocate for profanity. I don't wish to use profanity. However, I wish to make sure that my listener, the person I'm having a conversation with, knows exactly where I'm coming from with my energy and exactly what I'm coming to communicate based on my language. So I don't limit myself because I don't want somebody to create a certain narrative. I don't limit anything about myself. So if the Most High tells me that we're making a music video or like a new song, like Holy Water. I just dropped Holy Water, by the way. If you would like to listen to my first single, you can go to Apple Music, you can go to Spotify, you can go to all the listening platforms to listen to my first single. And guess what? I can't always tell people that I'm a rapper. I don't never say that. I never tell people I'm a musician or an artist. I never say that. I'll tell people I'm a child of God because I have too many different things that I'm doing to be able to tell you which one I'm doing today. I don't know. So how do you let God be God? By, oh, I'm catching this music wave. I don't know where this music is coming from. I found this poem that I was writing. I just busted this whole poem. I don't know where it came from. It just came out of nowhere, let's say. You got to let those things be seen by yourself. I'm not saying you want to make this music so that people see it. That's not what it's about. It's about you recognizing, oh, this is wants to be created. And then you create it. And then you recognize, oh, this has come from my intelligence. This has come from the Most High. This has come from the creativity. This has come from the infinite space. And then this is what you're focusing on. You're no longer focusing on if it's a book, if it's a project, if it's whatever it is, a website. You're only focusing on, is this the current inspiration? Or am I just bored trying to come up with something? Because we do that too. We're bored trying to come up with something, but this is why we're having a conversation about being. Because when you stop doing, then the being is like, oh, well, I know you're going to be inspired by painting. And so you start seeing this owl picture in your head, and then you go to the supermarket and you buy some oodles and noodles, and on your way out, you see an owl poster that they're selling over there for $3. And like, I just thought about an owl. What the fuck is this? And then you just keep going about your business. Then you get to your house, you put your groceries down, you put a YouTube video on, and then there's an ad, and the ad has an owl on it. And then there's an owl in the ad, and the ad is talking about your car insurance and all these type of things. You gotta hear the owls calling. You feel like a painter. Oh, you might want to paint the owl. You feel like the inspiration is coming from the owl now? Yeah, it is coming from the owl. You have all these reasons to recognize it. You know what's coming, and then you have all these reasons to confirm it. This is how the Spirit works. If anybody doesn't know, God is not throwing you a whole Bible, a whole bunch of books. He's just throwing you one thought. He's just throwing you one vision. He's just throwing you one insight. He's just throwing you one little awareness, one daydream, one dream at night. And you're supposed to recognize, oh, wait, hold on. This is gold. I got to do something with this. And then that's when you get your doer on. Your doer gets in after you tap in with the being, because the being is basically the captain of the ship, the I am, the Christ, the consciousness of yourself. But let me, I would love to paint this as a picture because I'm seeing it right now. And so I'm just going to be using my hands because I don't have right now an iPad that I could draw on to show you this. But I'm seeing this so clearly right now, and I really want to get this to you. So you can see my body right now, right? Arms, legs, all this stuff, right? So put the body right on this base level, and then put the mind right above the body, right? You tell your body, we're going for a walk. The body gets up. Going for a walk, right? And so then you, as the consciousness or the spirit, you command the body, and the body does exactly what you say. You tell the body it's time to go to bed, body lays down. This is the math. I am, and then the body follows. I am going outside. As soon as I say that, the body's going to do exactly what I'm saying that's going to do. We're going outside, guys. Let's go. So the reason for this is because whatever you're placing after I am is all that you find yourself doing all day. If you're complaining, if you are a plumber, if you find yourself describing yourself as a writer, right? Whatever you're doing is coming after this I am. That's all that God is, the expression of life. And life is expressing as I am all day. And this is why I started off this whole thing saying to be or not to be. Because people are being all day. They're just not aware of what they're being. Whilst they doing all day. So the reason for this teaching is not so that you disassociate from people or you stop your activities. No, you're going to do everything that you've been doing anyways. You're just going to be doing it from a mind state that you're choosing. So if I say that I want to release this first song, I'm not releasing this first song as an anxious, frantic, fragile type of person. No, I'm actually, if I'm feeling anxious and frantic and fragile, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to breathe and I'm going to go into that energy of frantic and anxious and fragile. And I'm going to transform that energy into victorious, conquering, creative, and expressive. So by the time I've shifted my state of being from an anxious person who feels like people are going to judge me, or an anxious person who feel like, oh, I don't want people to talk about my music, I switched my energy, or I switched my state of being to a person who's confident, who's expressive, who's known to be sharing what they do. And I'm ready for people to critique, if I want to use that word, or to share their opinions about my music. But it's not something that just happened in an instant. I had to shift my state of being first. Peace, peace, 9 Ether, gang, 999. What's up, family? Came in with that good energy. What's up? Put the whole tribe on the 9ether.com. Peace and Grand Rising, King. Hope all is well. So in this conversation, we've been talking about shifting our focus from doing to being. But this is something that we only need to do once. Because if you are seeing yourself as a fragile human being and, you got to make sure that you don't offend the law, and you got to make sure that you don't stand out so people don't judge you because you care about what people think about you. I don't want people to talk about me. If you're seeing yourself from a fragile, breakable, based on other people's opinions type of thing, you're not that. That is a form of identity developed by conditioning. And that's what you're being while you're doing all the shit that you're doing all day. That's what you're being when you're figuring out why things are not working out. It's because of who you are being whilst you're doing. And so what we want to do is just stop doing for a second. And then we see ourselves the way God sees us, successful. We see ourselves the way that Most High sees us, fulfilled. We see ourselves the same way Most High sees us, prospering, growing, developing, or in a sense, a victorious person. Oh, it didn't work the first time? That's okay. I was hoping that it wasn't going to work because I was going to learn some shit off the mistake and get right back to it. Oh, it didn't work? Oh, well, I'm not going to take the identity of a failure. That's not who I am. That's not who my state of being resides. I don't reside in that zip code. I reside in the Victoria zip code. So I'm going to take the failures, I'm going to take the mistakes, but I'll use them for something. Those are my ingredients. See, I'm cooking wisdom in the kitchen. I need to make a couple mistakes. See, I need to make the recipe wrong once or twice because I'm going to be the master about this. So it's not going to be, I'm pretty good. No, I'm going to be him about this. So I need to get some L's up in there. I need to put them together, get my W's right. You feel me? It's all about your state of mind. But this is why the Matrix is so heavily invested in prescribing you a state of being. They're so heavily invested. I mean, if they talking about what the most investment is, bro, it's not all the stocks and all that, really. It's how you see yourself. That's the most investment. They put the most money into that shit. Because in order for you to buy this cologne, you got to feel like you're not all that swag without it. So they create an advertisement. So you see this man and you see that he got this nice little Tom Ford jacket on and he got this little whatever. He get a little spurts up there, then this, just so that you measure your self-confidence with what you're seeing on the video. Then it's like, damn, bro, I need to get that Tom Ford perfume because that shit gonna make me swag out, bro. I feel like that shit is prescribing you a state of being that you are not all that already. So then you feel like to be all that, you gotta pull out your card. And then you gotta go swipe your card. And then you gotta wait 30 days. Or you gotta wait 3 days because you're gonna order it on Express. Then when it comes in, you're looking for the feeling. Like, okay, now it's open. I got it from the back. Now it came. Oh, my package came. Now it's like, you put this shit on, you start wearing it and all that. It's like, damn, this shit feels the same. Yeah, it feels the same. Because the only change has to happen on the inside. It's not something you can put on. It is nowhere on me. It is all the way in me. And there's the only place for it. The only place for the change, the realization, the revelation, that transformation is not clothes. It's not a perfume. It's not a scent. It's not an original pair of Jordans. It's nothing. I mean, these are things, but they're not the one thing. The one thing is your state of being. And this is why Christ lived his life the way he did, and we're still speaking about it now. Are y'all capturing this message? I would love to get a 1 in this message, in the captions. If this message is resonating with you, if you're starting to see a little bit of what areas in my life am I just overdoing, doing, hoping that it's going to make more results? What areas in my life am I trying to just, oh, maybe if I show up differently and I do all this and I do all of that and I do all of this, then they'll notice me. Are you putting energy into these type of things? It's okay. I was doing it too, bro. I was doing it too. When I was coming up in high school and college, it was all about what was popular. And having those things meant that I would have attention from people. But then I had to grow spiritually and recognize I don't actually want people's attention. Not as much as I thought I did. Because I got people's attention. But I didn't like what I got their attention for. And so I recognized I didn't really want people's attention. I just wanted to be seen. And so when I recognized I am being seen by God, then I didn't need nobody's attention anymore. But then everybody got worried because now they didn't know what was coming out next. They didn't know what I was going to say. Because I know God is watching me and I'm doing what I'm doing in my life because I'm on the screen. And so God is having a whole Netflix and chill with the angels right now about my life because that's what I'm deciding. So over time, I realized my state of being is recognizing who I'm seen by. Think about this so deep. I mean, I'm going really deep. And this is a deep character building conversation, but it's so important and so needed. If you could be a good person and nobody would ever see anything that you ever did, would you still be a good person? 111, gang, Trini. If you could be a good person, but nobody could ever see that you did anything that you did that made you fit the description of a good person, would you still do those things? I would love to know. Because I found that if you only want to do things because of how you're being seen by other people, then your intention is not understood. You're not very well developed with why you do things. And it's not a big deal, but it is a problem if you don't look at it. It's not a big deal, but it's a problem if you don't look at it. When I started to develop, I realized that nobody's approval meant much. So I would do good things knowing that that's why I wanted to do it, or I did it because I wanted to. And that's kind of like where I live. However, there's another aspect to this where it's like, when you want to be seen by other people to do something good, so you do good, so you're seen by others, that's all you get. All you get is being seen by other people doing what you should be doing for no reason. The benefit you get is other people seeing you because you want to be watched. But wait till you get to a part where you don't care. Oh my Lord God. When you get to the part where you don't care who's seeing you, who's not watching you, who's visible, who's not visible, you become so free and people get afraid of you. Because now they know that there's not a reason for your doing. You are honorable. You just do the right thing because that's who you are. Then they start trying to hide. Then they start trying to lie. Then they start trying to paint you a certain way because it's almost like, wait, was he trying to be Mr. Holy Man or what is he trying to prove? Is he trying to prove something? No, motherfucker. I just know God is here with me. And so because God is here with me, my intention is known to him. And I don't have nothing but my intention anywhere I am in the world. Because it's like, without my intention, why am I doing this? Without my intention, why am I here? Without my intention, who am connecting with this girl for what? What's my intention connecting with this girl? That's my little sister. I don't connect with nobody. I connect with my divine partner. That's a summary. If my intention is not wholly seen by God, you will never see me in motion with that shit. Because I am my intention. And so I don't do things to be seen by the people. In fact, I do things so that people will see what to do, but they don't want to see that. Because now you got to stand and be on 10 toes for Christ. Not even using somebody else's words or nothing. I mean, who wants that? You're going to stand alone for everybody to come together so we could be one body. That takes all of everything to put yourself out in that way. There's no reservation. And so I don't do this to be seen. I do this because I want to remember that when God is watching my movie, he has to rewatch this. It's nothing else. I'm doing so much of this because if the Most High is seeing that there's a child of his that's willing to 9777 on this license plate, and the Most High just made me look for the moment. Look at that. I mean, I can't make anything up. It's just what it is all the time. It's always what it is. I mean, I want to make sure y'all know that I ain't not playing. Y'all can take a screenshot and see this car right here is 9777 on a license plate. And so I'm only doing what let God be God. That's what I'm doing. That is literally what I'm doing right now in my life. Let God be God. The car just left. Let God be God. And so for me, that means I'm going to remind you about your God consciousness. I'm not going to let you sleep and pretend that you're just a mere human being walking around doing little bitty things. Yes, you are in a human body. I'm in a human body too. You are just like me, walking in a human body. But within you is the eternal, the everlasting, and the totality of God's holy omnipresence happening as yourself. And when you stop talking with your mind, like I was explaining, you have the body first. The body. But the body is animated. It's animated by the mind, right? But the mind is also animated as well. The mind is animated by the spirit. So this is where a lot of people's world looks like. Spirit, mind and body. I'm hungry. Time to get some food. Mind and body. I'm tired. Time to sleep. Mind and body. I don't like the way she talked to me. Mind and body, right? That's not how we do it over here. How we do it is spirit first, mind, and then body. So what happens is the mind has to be told, you are not your mind. You have a mind. Your mind is how you express your consciousness within this life and experience, but you are not it. If I said a saying from some movie, you don't agree with what I said because it's not exactly you. What is exactly you is your consciousness, and your mind is just a tool to find in the world what is really like yourself. You're only using your mind to find things that resonate. You listen to the music, you see if it resonates with you, if you like it. Then you create a harmony with that thing, right? Saying all this to say, spirit is the place where all these ideas come from. It is the imagination. It is your Christ, your imagination. But we're so engaged with the mind because we've mastered the mind. We can read cues. We know what people's undertone meanings are when they say certain things. You know, we're listening for, subtle cues and stuff. We walk into a supermarket and we want to wear certain clothes because we can see how people see us. So we want to control how they see us. So we wear certain clothes. So, we're just so engaged with what we get from other people as validation, but you cannot receive from God at this level. This is why we practice meditation, so that we disassociate from the mind and how we always controlling all these things, so that we allow for the spirit to give us the inspiration. And then we get on board with that. And then we start creating, and then we start talking, and then we start, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm sharing with you guys is that this spirit aspect, right, is the nature of being, all right? The spirit is the being. And the mind is a correspondence of the spirit. So each of us is expressing the spirit of God, but our mind basically personalizes the spirit, or the mind basically customizes the spirit. So my voice is not going to be your voice. My ideas are not going to be your ideas. They're not going to be the same exact, all right? But you are exactly God. You are exactly God's expression, and you are exactly whole and total in the spirit. Now, your body may have an illness, right? But you are whole and total in the spirit. And so when I speak the word of healing over somebody, what happens is the spirit alerts its mind to know that the body is well, and then healing happens. Why? Because it's already happened. I'm just a really good pointer to what it already is. And I speak it, and I know why, because I use my mind for the spirit. So my mind gives all the right words. I'm saying everything that needs to be said, and I'm not missing no bases. Everything's covered. Why? Because I've seen it. I'm seeing from the spiritual eyesight. I don't use these all the time. I'm using these right now to talk to y'all. But what I use mostly is how God shows me something. So it's like I'm seeing and then I'm saying what I saw so that what I saw can become. We are creating our lives. We are creating our realities. We are creating our manifestations. We are creating our experiences. And it's all happening with our words, our thoughts, but first from our beings. Because you can say I'm prosperous all day long, but if you don't feel, believe, and be prosperous, then what you say is not carrying what you're saying. Because what you're saying when you're quiet is so loud that what you're saying in affirmation is not loud enough. Hear this and hear this by the Spirit of God. You want to be so loud in your wealth that you can say it when you're silent. You want to be so loud in your unconditional love that that shit is on Bluetooth when you haven't said nothing. You want to be so clear about your love and compassion for yourself that people just have to look at you to see it. You don't say, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, man. I love myself. I love myself, man. I love myself. You can say it, but if you are embodying this quality that you say, you will never need to speak. And I'm layering this message so much because this is going to be a timeless message for all the chosen ones. This is timeless. You can watch this any day of the year, any day of the year, any day of the year that they clock in numbers. And this shit going to hit the same. Because the way that our mind gets involved, it's just describing our experience. And the beauty is just letting God describe it. And then now you employ your mind to fortify what the Spirit has shown you. To fortify something means to ground it, to build it, to ensure it, all right? And that's what the mind is for. However, in this world and in this matrix, they tell us or show us the wrong ways of using this. They'll show you as someone who's like, satisfying a craving of, having multiple sexual partners. For what purpose? For no purpose. For no purpose at all, actually. You see somebody with intention and you see that they're doing things, but there's a reason for each thing that they do. This is when you recognize that you've engaged with your being. Is there anything that you do right now? Let me just have a pause right now for this quick question. Is there anything that you do right now that you do for no reason? Is there anything that you do right now in your life today that you do for absolutely no reason? You can be doing this thing and somebody came and say, hey, why do you do that? Well, just because. Do you have anything like that? And it's not a bad question if you do or don't. It's not. Thank you so much, Erica. I'm about to get to these comments in about 2 minutes. It's not an issue if you do or you don't. The real value is, why would you choose not to do? Why would you choose that? If I'm going to be doing anything for no reason at all, it's this. I'm doing this simply because this shit is on the way. And if I don't do this, I'm going to be sitting down having all this up in here. And I don't like doing that. So there's actually no reason why I'm on right now, besides that God gave me some words.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Ginsburg
So we
Library
gotta go
will
in a
be
couple
closing
minutes.
in 20 minutes
20
at 8
minutes.
o'clock. Our public computers will shut down automatically in 10 minutes. So if you are on one at this time,
Man, all right, we got the
please
message, bro.
print or save your work. Thank you.
Thank you too, bro. So family, I want to get to these messages in a second. Nothing is without reason. I love when you said that, Erica. See, the Creator puts a reason beside everything. And for everybody who's new to this conversation, my name is Kadimshi Golden Sun, and you are tuned in with Light Power. This is IC Ministry because I see why God chose you. And I know why God chose me. And we're just here at the table of God to share in divinity. So thank you for tuning in and sharing your beautiful time and energy with me. It's always reciprocated and it's always appreciated every single time. Even if you tap in for a couple minutes, you come back on a replay or whatever. I just love y'all so much with the love of Christ, the love of God, unconditionally. And I'm supporting you in every single way. I'm praying with you and standing with you in prayer for every single thing that you set your mind on to obtain and create in this lifetime. All right? So the last thing I'll say is nothing is without reason. Thank you for that, Erica. I also say the Creator doesn't put nothing in for nothing. Everything has a reason, but if we don't ask, we don't know the purpose. And where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. And what we find ourselves doing is abusing ourselves because we don't know why God created us. We find ourselves abused by the people around us because we don't find ourselves worthy enough of protecting. We find ourselves in the company of other people and they demoralize us and we let them because we don't feel like this is something worth fighting for. And I wanted to remind you today, my brother, my sister, your being is way more beyond magnificent, way more beyond beautiful, way more beyond divine. And you are absolutely worth preserving, absolutely worth fighting for, absolutely worth choosing, absolutely worth recognizing your worth, absolutely deserving. We're doing nothing to become deserving. There's nothing you can do to become deserving of all that God has already preordained and predestined for you. There's nothing. And if you are in an idea of, I'm feel worthy when, that when is gone. That shit never comes. I thought I was going to be worthy when something happened too. But the thing that happens is recognizing that I was worthy now. I was never going to be worthy soon. Your life, your essence, its purity, is worthy of everything that life offers. Not just because you got money or because you came from a good family or nothing. Just because you're here. Your birthright, that's a term of words that people use to qualify this conversation. There's not even a term of words that's needed, but we're going to use birthright because that's what it is. You feel me? So I love you guys with the love of Christ, and you have a body, but you are not just your physical body, not at all. You have an emotional body, but you are not your emotions as well. You are the space in which they move and operate, and you are the commander over these spaces as well. You are the Lord God and governor over these spaces as well. Lord God and governor over the mind space, Lord God and governor over the emotional space, Lord God and governor over your physical space. Unless you're not Lord and God and governor over your mental space, then that means somebody else is Lord over your physical space. That's normally life. When they take people's land, they don't come for the land underneath their feet first. They come for the land in between their temples first. And then after they have the land in between their heads and their awareness, then they go for the land underneath their feet. And if they can't take the people's land by taking it from their mind first, then they kill them. That's normally these colonizers and their behavior. That's normally the barbarians. This is how barbarians behave. I've seen them. They out there. Just look at their whole history. They have a whole history of what they do to people that they can't understand. They demonize them, kill them, pillage them, rape them. That's what they do. Look at them. Now, we bring a healing to the whole planet, so we bring a healing to them too. But watch them really good now. So thank you, my brothers and my sisters. This has been really great. Like, for everybody who wants to get deeper into this energy, I'm going to be opening a membership where we can have some of these conversations off of live, but it's going to be a little bit more personal if you would like to tune in deeper with this energy. Couple announcements before we go. I just dropped my first single, Holy Water. Go get a splash of some holy water on podcast, Apple Podcast, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music. We on every single platform right now. Shout out to the Most High. And then I also want to let you guys know I'm doing a book writing club. It's called Build a Book Workshop. And so if you're interested in writing your first book, then you want to send me the words WEB to my DM, and I'll send you the details if you want to get on this next winter write-up, because we're going to be doing a book in the next 90 days. And anybody can join if you have a novel, a story, a spiritual book, or if you just want to document and share your experiences for your children. I mean, whatever you want to do. We build, this particular book is going on Amazon Marketplace because we need some dollars in the bank account, because we're building a ministry, we're building a life, and we need to take care of ourselves using the word of God. God told me that I'm going to pour into this ministry is going to pour into me. He never been late on anything that he said, but this has been taking a little minute. But I still trust what he said because he never lied to me. So we're going to be doing a lot more activities just to get the community into a space of delivering. You're not here to listen to me all day. That's dead. You're here to listen to me long enough so that you can do what God created him and herself as you to do. And that's the only thing you're listening to me for. You're listening to me so that you can build the courage, the confidence, and the regulation of knowing that God did not put you here by no mistake or no accident, and you got some good shit inside of you that is not leaving here. You're leaving it here. So make sure you put your UPS mode and delivery system on so that you can start sending out the thoughts that God sends to you. All right? In addition to those two things, if you want to sow into this ministry, you feel blessed by this word, you want to anchor this energy into yourself, you can do so very well by going over to Cash App, $LIGHTPOWR, or you can go to PayPal, $GADEMSHE33. I'm LifePath33. But yeah, Gademshi33 on PayPal if you'd like to sow into this word. I would like you to know I pray over every single seed that anybody sows, regardless of where it comes from. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, I don't care. For this ministry, everything gets prayed on. In my whole life, everything gets prayed on. Because I want to honor God and I want to honor the essence, because we work hard for what we create. We put a lot of energy into all of this. And so I put a lot of energy into what I do too. Everything that we do is going to be multiplied and returned to you. So I thank you guys so much. I got the message to write a book yesterday. Oh my God, this is sign number 3. Oh my God, Queen Nala. I have a self-published checklist that I'm doing for help me with the words, Lord. Now I got to get back into my my book writing bag. Hold on. I got a self-published checklist that helps you from ideation, chapterization, basically sectioning your book, and then also to all the way through to review, editing, proofreading, hiring an editor, ISBN number, book cover, and listing on the marketplace, all up in the checklist. So if you would like to get the checklist, send me the word WEB on Instagram or on TikTok, and I'll send it over to you. So I'm doing this checklist just to see like who's really interested in this, and then see if anybody really needs support. If they just need a little checklist, you can download that. Or if you need some support, we can create like some Zoom calls and all this type of things. I'm masterminding it with the Spirit of God right now. But so family, those are the ways that you can support right now. Go listen to my music, get that holy water downloaded, you feel me? God is doing magnificent stuff within you too. I'm going to be creating some meditation music, I feel like, because I do a lot of meditations, but I'm always using somebody else's music. So I might be doing that soon, because I want to share with you guys everything that I use to get on here and do what I do, because you got to get on, not on here. You got to get on whatever God got you to be on. You feel me? Queen Nala up in here, LifePath 22, master builder number. Okay, I see you. It's a lot of building shit to do. We got some shit to build then. What you building over there, Queen Nala? LifePath 22, master builder. What's up? What's up? What's up? I love that, because I really inherited all the numbers. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't let nobody tell me. I tell me. And God let me know that I am all the master numbers. So I just took all of them. But 33 is 11 plus 22. So you know the math. I love you guys so much. Family, before we go, we got 10 minutes. We're going to go to the ABCs of Awakening. And I'm going to leave this quotation with you guys to chew on, okay? I'm going to let the book open up to whatever page, and I'm going to read the quotation from that page. All right? So this is going to be the takeaway message for the collective. Rooted in real reality. I opened up to the word reflect on here, but I'm going to give you guys a quotation from here. Ooh, this is so good. Oh, my Lord. And this is how I know God is real. Not because... 5 minutes? All right. This is how I know God is real. Not because I just feel him or because he tells me and I hear him and I speak him and then what he says happens and all that. But he matches everything up. When somebody listens to this video front to back, they're going to be like, bro, this man just read a book from the page and it was exactly what he's talking about. Listen to this. Have great respect for the creator within you, God within, and the subtle intuition that you receive. Know that signs follow consciousness. They do not precede. So analyze where you are rooted mentally. Always honor the divine ideas and insights that come to you. For many are called, yet few answer the phone. So the calls continue to go to the one who answers the most. Be rooted in the understanding that the universe is abundantly providing for each of us as its own self. Ideas, resources, prana, literally everything is provided. So now, what will you choose to do with it? What will you choose to create? The abundance of air and water reflect the abundance that is nature's natural way of expression. Nature is the most reliable. And that concludes the reading from chapter 18, Rooted in Real Reality, page 352 of the ABCs of Awakening. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this energy. If you guys would like to tap into this replay, y'all can do so on YouTube. it'll be saved. And if you would like to sow into this word and tap into this energy, you can sow a seed, LIGHTPOWR on Cash App, Light Power Ministry, IC Ministry, because I see why God chose me. Can I reread it? I'll give it to you again. You might want to hit that screen recorder. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have great respect for the Creator within you, God within, and the subtle intuitions that you receive. Know that signs follow consciousness. They do not precede it. So analyze where you are rooted mentally. This is the being we spoke of. Always honor the divine ideas that come to you. Many are called, yet few answer the phone. The calls continue to go to the one who answers the most. Be rooted in the understanding that the universe is abundantly providing for each of us as itself. Ideas, resources, prana, literally everything is provided. Now, what will you choose to create with it? The abundance of air and water reflect the abundance that is nature's natural way of expression. Nature is most reliable. This is to say, what is your nature that's the most reliable? What nature is that you are, which is the being that you can rely on for everything. See, when you're being yourself, you don't have to check nobody else because you're too busy being me. I love you guys so much. I love you guys with the love of Christ. We're going to be back on again. Make sure to tap in with us on Monday for our next meditation. We're going to be doing Monday's meditations between 10 a.m. at 10 a.m. Let's just say we're going to have them at 10 a.m. I feel like I can commit to that. Mondays at 10. And we may be doing Mondays and Wednesdays like we did earlier today. So go ahead, tap in with that meditation. I love you so much. Love you, Sister Trini. Thank you for tapping in, sis. Sis, one of these days, I'm going to have to bring you on the Instagram Live. So you might have to change your name to Trini Extrovert. Because you're going to be talking that good wisdom over here, too. I love you guys so much. I got to get out of here. So that being said, take care of yourselves. And until the Most High speaks again, which is not going to be too far from now, I'll see y'all very soon. But until then, tune in, too. God got something to say to you. Talk to y'all. Love you guys. Peace.